This is 𝗂𝗲𝗁 in Chicago, and you're watching my channel, Knowledge for Quality of Life. Friends, I've shared many vlogs in the past regarding individual interventions as far as my quality of life is concerned and my family's quality of life is concerned. I have shared many vlogs that what we do, what we eat, how we lead our lifestyle. And you can share those videos or you can view those videos on my channel. You can search it, each and every step, I have shared it. Today, I'm going to share something which I mentioned earlier in my one of the lifestyle video that incorporating various nuts in your diet, it's really helpful. Now, it's a little bit tricky when people consume nuts. So, few things I'm going to share with you guys today regarding a healthy lifestyle incorporating various nuts as a part of the dry fruit in your diet. You have to be very careful that how much you're consuming because when you read the literature, scientific literature, they say a handful of nuts. Now, my question was that what is a handful? So while digging more, they said that handful should entail around 30 grams. So when I was checking, with my weighing scale, it comes out to be about close to 30, 32, sometimes 29. So I'll share with you guys, this is the bowl of nuts, and I'll go with you that, what it includes. Now you see that, I have one fig and one apricot. These are organic fig and organic apricot, a product of Turkey. You know very well that Izmir, the city of Turkey, is capital of figs. And when I visited in 2018, I brought almost 5 kilograms of figs from there. Those figs are amazing. So I include one fig and one apricot. Now that is not included in the nuts. So if I take this thing out, these two item out, fig and apricot, this nut, this about weighs about close to 30 grams. Now, what I have here, about eight kernels of pistachio, roasted pistachio, unsalted. Make sure that it's unsalted. I don't consume salted nuts, because I have enough salt, enough sodium in my system. So I don't need to overload my system with the sodium. And then I have two walnut halves, basically one full walnut. And then I have about 10 to 12 kernels of peanuts, roasted peanuts. Now, when you buy roasted peanuts, make sure that it doesn't have any seed oil because what they do, they make it wet, make it soak in some sort of a seed oil, sometimes sunflower seed oil, and that's not good. That's inflammatory for your blood. It increases the inflammation, and those are inflammatory oil. Has a lot of omega-6 and 9. So read the ingredients at the back of the bottle that it has only roasted peanuts. That's it, nothing else. Okay. Then I have four apricot kernels, dried apricot kernels. I don't exceed more than 4 or 5 at the most because it has a little bit cyanide in it. So I include only four kernels. Okay. And then I have one a Brazilian nut, which I mentioned that this is a medium-sized Brazilian nut, which has about 95 micrograms of selenium. Now, selenium and iodine, I mentioned before that it metabolizes our thyroid. So selenium is very good for us, but if you eat too much, it can be toxic because if I recall that, it has an upper limit of 330 in the lab range when you get tested for selenium. I highly doubted that anybody tests for selenium. I do. Before I was consuming two nuts, so my selenium was a little bit more than the upper threshold, so I backed it off. I'm just consuming one nut a day because other things which we consume, as part of our diet, like for instance, wild caught salmon, mushrooms, those have trace minerals also, which include selenium. So you are getting from other sources as well. So you have to be very mindful of it, that, you don't overdo it, because I see a lot of people complain about that, I've been following a healthy diet, but things are not going as I expected. Now, you have to understand this thing very carefully, that, each and individual interventions which we do, we have to see in a holistic manner, right? So it's not like one size fits all, because, you have to give some time to your body to rectify itself, to correct itself. Because, if the body has been mutilated, with a lot of junk over time, body needs to correct itself. Okay, so give yourself some time and do the right interventions. Key is do the right interventions. Put the right food in your system, because this, see, think of it as an engine. Put the right fuel. Stay away from processed food and all this junk. Eat close to the nature and let the body rest and let the body fix itself. Okay, and hopefully in future vlogs I'm going to share some of my thoughts, that how I took one parameter at a time over the course of 9 to 10 years, and work on it, and it improved things accordingly, because you cannot tackle too many parameters at one time, because you don't know what is doing harm and what is doing good, right? So take one or two parameters at a time, as far as tackling is concerned, so that you can calibrate it. That if it doesn't work, then tackle another parameter. When I say parameters, means variable, right? So this Brazilian nut is very important for male, also for your prostate health. So make sure that this selenium is a trace mineral which you need only 95 to 100 microgram a day, but it is amazing mineral which implements in many enzymatic reactions in our body. So what it does, basically benefit wise, because a lot of nuts has zinc, calcium, all the nutrients and all the minerals which we can get from the natural sources. Now, it has to be roasted, and when you buy roasted nuts, make sure that it's unsalted, because you don't want to consume excessive salt. If you are okay in sodium in your blood work. Now, these nuts, some of the nuts has a peel on it. Okay, so these peel, they say that you have to consume the soaked nuts. So it's a good idea to soak it overnight, about 8 to 12 hours, and so that the peel, you need to take the peel off, because the phytic acid in peel, it inhibits the absorption of nutrients in your gut, in your system. Okay, so it's more absorbable, more digestible, and you can get the fullest of all the nutrients into your system if you consume the soaked nuts. And you have to be mindful of it, because when I incorporated pistachio, that pistachio has some saturated fats, but pistachio increases good side of the cholesterol, and it increases the surface area of lipid particles. So it means that if somebody has a small LDLP, which I have mentioned in my previous vlogs, quite a few numbers, then it's gonna reduce a little bit. It will increase your surface area, means it changes its surface area from smaller to bigger, fluffier particles. Now, of course, you have to consume in a sensible manner, that you cannot just finish the bottle of, because I have seen people go gaga on nuts. You don't have to go nuts for nuts. Okay, so everything in moderation is good, and I consume over the years 30 grams, and I restrict myself to 30 grams only. My wife soaked the nuts about 8 to 10 hours. We try our level best. to soak it overnight, but sometimes she forgets. So, and I forget too. And then we just do in the morning breakfast, and we use in the evening time or afternoon time, depending on, when we want to eat it. So by that time, the peel gets, we put warm water for soaking, and the peel gets softer in a couple of hours, and you can take the peel off easily by pressing the nut. So I hope that this is gonna be helpful. But one thing I want to caution people, because I've heard from one of my, a few friends actually, that they say that I consume nuts, but I'm not reducing my weight. But remember that nuts has a major component of fats, good fats. Now, I have mentioned before a few times that when you consume fat and you consume carb, both, because carb is a glucose source and fat is a fat source energy. We burn energy by one of the two sources, either glucose source or, fat source. Now, if you are consuming carb and if you are consuming the nuts, which is a fat, of course, first you are going to burn the energy by the glucose source. So, what's going to happen? That, that fat which you are consuming in the form of nuts, it's going to remain in the fat globules and it's going to remain untapped. Okay. So it means that you may gain weight. So be mindful of it, that if you are on a carb diet, please be mindful, don't consume nuts. Okay. Nuts is a good source of protein, good fats, a lot of minerals, a lot of nutrients, and it's part of the Mediterranean diet. The nuts. People in Hunza and a lot of places on the planet, they consume nuts as part of their diet. So I hope that this message is clear, that when you consume nuts, that you have to stay away from the refined carb and sugar, because you don't want to store the glucose and store the fats, and you're going to burn the glucose source first. So if you deprive your body from glucose source of energy and you consume nuts in the source of fat, you're going to you'll be burning the fat as a fat fuel source, right? So you're going to reduce the weight. You're going to lower your BMI. You are going to lower your waist. You are going to lower the fat from your thighs and buttocks, and wherever extra weight is, you're going to lose it, because now you are consuming and you are burning in the same mode. So you are in unit source of fuel which you are putting in, and you are burning the same thing, because most of the time people use two fuels and burn one, so the other fuel gets stored in your fat cells, and people don't lose weight. So be mindful of it. I hope you're going to get something out of it, and share the vlogs, share the knowledge with your friends and family, and hopefully to see you next time. Bye.